99% of UFO-related news on the internet is fake. Even documentaries on big streaming services like Netflix are poorly researched.
But there's a YouTuber who's done a ton of research in this space, digging up stuff from 1947 when it all started.
How much of it is credible? How much of it is just misinformation? How do you know which is which?
Let's talk about LEMMiNO's long-form videos on UFOs.
Welcome to The Disorg, a podcast where we unpack big ideas from documentaries and the tangents they lead us down. I'm Grant.
I'm Christian.
I'm Mo.
And I'm Katie.
What do we know about UFOs? What did we learn from the official government documents released to the public in 2023? And what can all of this teach us about misinformation in the modern world?
If you make it to the green room, let us know. And check out the description to know where we're watching next. We got a clap.
All right. So,
Boom.
check. Test.
Test.
1, 2, 3. How do I sound?
Checkity.
How do I sound?
You sound great.
Hello, I'm Grant. How does my mic sound?
Good.
Sorry, you're Gwant.
You're Gwant.
Oh, okay.
Gwant. It's Gwant. And Mo.
Hit it.
All right, so we're talking about some videos from one of my favorite YouTubers, LEMMiNO. Huge inspiration for me. He talks about super interesting stuff. And today we're talking about his UFO videos. And that always, like, every time I tell people about this, it's always like, oh, what do you mean UFO videos? And I'm like, no, just watch them. Trust me, they're cool. Essentially, this guy, he does documentaries on YouTube, but he always takes it from a very practical, very pragmatic kind of lens. So instead of it being sensational, about it being scary or mysterious or whatever, he generally tries to go into something that feels credible instead of just trying to, like, get a reaction out of you. We had two videos that we watched. One, about the unknowns. Basically, it's a video covering an actual project by the government in the 40s and 50s called Project Blue Book, where he covers various different stuff where the government themselves listed they didn't know what the cause or what happened was. And he kind of goes through each story and he kind of covers the ones that are less known. So like you won't see like the super famous ones in here. And then the second video that we watched, Extraordinary Until Proven Otherwise, is about a more recent kind of story, which I'm sure most people have heard of at this point. Basically, I think 2014 was the year where basically they had people in the military, Air Force, who came out with stories about seeing some unidentified flying things that were then later corroborated by the Pentagon semi-recently. And he kind of goes into the videos that were released and the stories that go along with them. Definitely recommend watching that before starting this episode. But guys, what'd you think?
I'll jump in. I thought that his research was incredible. I thought that he went down a lot of different veins to find all of this information. And I was doing a little bit of Googling afterwards, and I couldn't find, just by searching the Rogue River incident, I couldn't find a single thing. Nothing came up.
Oh,
I
wow.
thought something would appear, and I had to go to the video notes, the notes in the video's description, just to find exactly what he was referencing. And it's just documents. Like, it's just documents released. And I think that that's crazy, because that's the one to me that is probably that has the most open questions for me still, where it's like, here are people who were literal aeronautics engineers looking at this object through binoculars that were, when was it? It was like in the 1950s though. So I don't know how, because that's the thing is like with all of the things he was talking about, a lot of them, at least in the first video for Project Blue Book, took place in the 50s around the 40s to 60s or so. World War II, post-World War II, Cold War, and that whole era. And I don't know how good the binoculars were back then, truly. You know, because I've only ever used binoculars from the last 20 years, at least. And they're very, like, crystal clear. Like, you have to focus them still, but if you can focus it correctly, the image quality is fantastic. So I was like, man, like, this one in particular is like, what's going on here? Where these aeronautic engineers don't know what they're looking at. They describe this thing so precisely. They have drawings and information that they give from a visual account. That's the one that has the most unanswered questions for me, personally.
Absolutely. Like you said, they should know plenty about aeronautics, and yet they saw it and were confused by it. And also that they didn't talk to the press.
Right.
Which was also really cool. That added credibility, I think.
I think that was the main takeaway that I had, was that, yeah, you have these instances where it's not just like random people. It's people who know what they're doing and know what they are looking or what they should be looking at are like the ideas. I think specifically like the mathematics, the sciences behind it. Doesn't mean that they're infallible, but it just lends a little more credibility to their statements. The other one that really stuck out to me for a different reason was it was the one in the Arizona desert.
The Zamora incident?
The Zamora incident. That one in particular was like, again, because he didn't specifically go to the news. The news, other people were there and witnessed it, and there's corroborating eyewitness accounts. But his intention was just to figure out what was going on. However, inside of the video, he says that he got within 30 meters of the craft. And that's where it starts to lose a little bit of credibility to me. Because 30 meters is really close. I went out and I went to Google Maps and I measured a block here, a Brooklyn block, street block, which is 200 feet. 30 meters is actually just under 100 feet. And that means that whatever he was coming up to was less than a standard Brooklyn street block away. It's not that far. So the fact that the details are hazy about that is like interesting to me. Because if I saw something within 30 meters, I would probably be able to describe it in great detail. And then there was the part of it where he was like, he thought it was going to explode. So he took cover. I don't know, man. That seems a little bit like you saw this thing fly down from the sky and you saw people standing next to it supposedly. And then you got within 30 meters of it and then it started to make noises and that same blue light appears and you're like, oh, it must be exploding? I don't know. I'm like, come on, man. If it were me, if it were this boy, and I'm within 30 meters of what looks like a freaking spacecraft, it's freaking bats, dude. A freaking spacecraft, I would be locked in. I would be so locked in, and I'd be like looking at it, and if that thing started to like hum and whir, I'd be like, okay, if I die, I die, but I am not taking my eyes off of this thing, man. But like, it's going to explode. I don't know. I would have believed him if he said, I thought they were going to shoot at me. You know, that's different. You know, if it's like an advanced alien thing and you're a little too close and you hear like a whirring sound, I'd be like, okay, maybe I need to like get behind cover in case they shoot at me. But he's like, I thought it was going to explode.
I feel like I would be afraid it would suck me up. You know?
It's engaging the tractor beam. Yeah.
No, but like, have you guys seen Nope? It's just like, it's so recent of a movie that I feel like it's the most likely of like our responses. And I would just be like, holy shit, it's going to suck me up. Because I feel like every sort of UFO thing I've ever seen, not necessarily realistic, just like animated or that movie has been like, yeah, just going to go.
Alien abduction.
Yeah.
Tractor beam.
I don't know about exploding, but like,
Yeah, I was like, I don't know about that.
they're going to make that motherfucker disappear.
That desert one, is that the one where the guy said that he saw people in suits getting into it?
Yep.
Okay. And then like, does that suggest it's human?
Right. That's the other thing is like he said he saw two men as he was like coming over like a hill, right? Where he was like, he saw them in like white jumpsuits standing next to it. And then he was driving up to it and he was like, his vision was momentarily obscured by a hill. And by the time he was over the hill, they were no longer standing. And then he was within 30 meters of it and it started to whir and hum and he saw the same blue light. He's like, it's going to explode. And so he got behind his car. And by the time that he looked back, it was gone. It's like,
it's convenient
it's
for sure.
Very convenient that
I don't
everything
trust
happened
people.
outside of view. You know, even if it is like, well, I don't want to, it's like, I don't know. People lie for really weird reasons.
I'm
the
in
time.
two minds about it because I always see shows where it's like this really crazy thing happens and then someone's like, I know you're not going to believe me. And then someone's like, yeah, I don't believe you. And it's like so frustrating to watch as a viewer because you know that thing is happening, whether it's like realistic to our world or not. But with this, I'm sort of like, I'm cynical. I'm like, do you want to just get on TV? Do you want publicity? Right. I think it's sort of indicative of like the time that they were in and what was happening and how unsettling it was. It was like World War II, like art and writing and so many things change because people are like, okay, the world literally does not make fucking sense. So like, let's lean into absurdism because we're experiencing something so absurd in our lives. I've always been cynical of, I don't think it doesn't exist, but here's what I said to Chris. I'm like, don't you think the spaceships or whatever, if our government was doing it, they would look better than like what we assume they would look like right now? Like, I feel like if we have fucking Teslas, like, don't you think they would be, I don't know. But I'm also just like someone who's like, I was that kid when I was 5 and my friends are like, aliens. And I'm like, they don't exist. Just like the would be like, I have juice in my phone. My mom says if I don't charge my phone or my iPod, I lose juice. I'm like, there's no juice in your phone. It's a battery.
It's not a Capri Sun.
So I was that kid. So maybe I'm just.
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
definitely have a very cynical outlook on UFOs, or rather UAPs, unidentified
UAPs, yeah.
aerial phenomenon. And I like that
WAPs.
so much more because UFO implies unidentified flying object. It's physical. It exists, in that way, as opposed to UAP, meaning
Right.
it could be optical illusion, it could be a trick of the light, it could be a lens flare, it could be a this, it could be a that. And yeah, and where I'll end my kind of review of the documentaries is that I was rather disappointed by the second one, only in that he did the same amount of research and looking into specifically, I think his explanation and looking into the mathematics behind those cameras and systems on the jet craft was incredible because it was so. I've seen a breakdown of that third video where it's the parallax thing that's happening. But he broke it down and was like, this is what this means. And if you do that calculation, you can see that this object is however many feet above the water, but it most likely is still parallax. So the question is, what was that object? Most likely a weather balloon. And he himself, he's like, this is the most unremarkable of them, of the three. But to me, all three were pretty unremarkable. It's like, even with the technology that we have, we still can't get a clear picture,
Yeah.
It seems oddly convenient that we still, it's just like, if we can't figure out what it is with the technology that we have, you could argue that it's like super advanced technology and we can't even sense what it is, but we have measured black holes and you know what I mean? Like, it's not like we don't have really advanced technology. We've measured gravitational waves. We you know what I mean? We know about neutrinos. We know all of this stuff. We're
What's
able
a
to.
neutrino?
A neutrino is an invisible piece of energy from the stars. It's like, I couldn't tell you the exact definition of what a neutrino is.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, but it's like advanced physics and astrophysics specifically. But we have ways of detecting and ways of measuring things.
Sounds like a fucking protein bar, but okay.
Neutrino. Sounds like
Neutrino.
a yogurt.
So the
Yeah.
comments on the videos, I noticed that like one sentiment that comes up again and again is like, yes, it's obvious to say we have better technology today and that we should be able to capture it. But they say in those comments that these things are moving so quickly that you actually could not be able to like capture it with like just an iPhone or something like that. And I'm still skeptical of that idea, just because if you look at the recent like Portugal meteor footage, you can still see it, even though it's moving quickly. You can still capture some of it, and
Yeah.
I don't know that like we've seen that with UFOs. Like, can you only capture it with special equipment that is installed on these aircrafts, like military stuff? I don't think so.
That's also just like, then how the hell did anybody ever see them before? If they are so high tech and so fast, how and we can't even track them with the new technology that we have, how did people see them before then? Because theoretically, the aliens always had this kind of technology that's like physics breaking. So how did those people at Rogue River have a chance to like look at it through basic binoculars? It's just like, again, this is where it's like, if you act like a cynic and you say for 2 seconds, just like logically, well, break it down. I don't know. It falls apart really, really quickly. And again, I don't want to jump right into my tangent, but I have feelings about when people look too close into things for meaning and how that can really quickly devolve into unhealthy escapism.
Ooh,
Sure.
because they get
I
obsessed
also
with
want to
it
say, I think
and
Chris,
they don't do anything else.
after we watched it for the first time, we watched Corridor Crew's construction of like, they tried to reconstruct a lot of these images. And a lot of them were like tricks of the light, like things you could sort of create. And I think like watching something like that, I mean, I don't know, like if we can watch something like Dune right now and that stuff actually looks like so to me, like I'm in awe of what's on screen that I'm watching. Like who's to say that other people couldn't just create things that we're seeing? Not to be such a Debbie Downer, but
No, I think that's
I
fair.
don't
And
know.
he even mentions it in the second video. Like nowadays, if you were to like capture the same footage,
Yeah.
people would take it with a lot more salt because of like it's so much easier to lie visually even.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Well, before we get into tangents, though, I did want to see Mo and Katie. What did you think? How did you like it?
I really liked it, just because I've never like went down this rabbit hole before, and I think he did a great job researching it and like curating all of the most credible stuff there is. But even if it's like an expert in aeronautics who saw something like this, I still am like, there's part of me that wonders if it's like a collective delusion that we all choose to participate in because we hope that there's something out there. And I kind of like participate in that. Like I want to believe in ghosts and UFOs, and so I keep my mind open to it. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I feel similarly. I think his editing was really cool. You could see the progression because I think the first video was 6 years ago and then the next one was 3 years ago. And I think it was really cool to sort of like have him revisit it. But yeah, I've always been someone who's like very skeptical of UFOs and like UAPs, whatever they're called. I think he's presenting us. I don't think he's making us try to think any which way about it. I think he's
Right.
presenting what's out there. It's funny because Chris and I had this experience watching this show one time, and I will always talk about this because I was so disappointed. I think I'm someone who's like very into psychological drama and like all these things. And we were halfway through the show, and I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with this girl? What's the backstory? And then like we found out that like everything was happening because of astral projection. And I was so pissed off because I was like, I feel like everything, at least from my media diet leading up to this, made me think like, oh, this is just like they're showing certain imagery. It's not supposed to be taken super literally, all of this stuff. And then it ended up being like, yeah, it's just astral projection. And this is how it happened. I was really pissed off. And I think I'm someone who's much less attracted to like science fiction things. I like apocalyptic things. So like things like Dune, I'm obsessed with Dune, and that's like the one scientific or science fiction thing I'm like really, really into. And then the rest of it, I'm sort of like, okay. Because I think in a way, which I don't think is a bad thing, and Chris said he's going to talk about escapism, I think a lot of science fiction exists. I'm not saying like just UFO sightings necessarily, but like a lot of these things exist to escape the real world, and I think it's valuable, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I just find myself less interested in it because I think, at least in my mind, there's so many things I'm like wanting to discover about things that actually exist, you know? I don't know. I think it's just my interest level.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah, no, that makes
Also,
sense.
one last thing I want to add. I was just going to say, I think it is hard for people who are credible to come forward and say that they have evidence or that they believe in this and make the case for it because they will be perceived as a nutcase. And so that there's like a chicken and egg problem where we can't believe it unless we get good evidence from people that we believe, but those people will not come forward until like this thing is seen as serious.
I mean, I think it'd be fucking sick if other planets had life. You know, like probably would be really good for us to figure that out sooner rather than later with our current climate crisis. But I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, why are we focusing on AI if we can do other shit that might make lives better?
Yeah.
That's my always thought. I mean, I mostly think about it as like cross-country travel in the US or like all of those things. And I'm like, okay, so really what we're focusing on is like these creepy fucking videos, and like me as an actor, like they want to scan my likeness for $300, and then I'm basically selling my likeness to Meta so they can reproduce videos and make me obsolete as an actor. I'm like, yeah, I'd rather have like a cross country train, like a bullet train, but
Would love
go off.
I was saying to my buddy John Folden, because he's from shout out John Folden. He's from Wisconsin like me, and there was this plan in Wisconsin between Illinois, Wisconsin, and Minnesota to create a high-speed rail that would connect the Twin Cities, Madison, Milwaukee, and Chicago, and it would revolutionize everything. It was like, wow, like we're uniting under this common goal to connect these cities because everything would flourish as a result, travel and tourism and job opportunities and all of that. And then our governor, Scott Walker, shot it down. It was a huge, huge deal. He took a huge other deal from like a manufacturing corporation, and then he built a new Bucks arena, and he gutted other things. I could go off on a tangent about that, but I was just like, we were so close to like turning into Japan for a second and having the Midwest be like the Japan of the United States, where you want to go to, the Twin Cities for an afternoon or for a day. Yeah, you can be there in less than an hour. I've never been to the Twin Cities because from Madison, it's like an 8-hour drive.
I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah, it's long.
Oh crap!
It's a long drive at
Watch
minimum.
it be like 2 hours.
No, it's minimum at least 6 hours.
I'm just kidding.
Also, the Midwest turning into the Japan of the United States is a brand new sentence that I've never heard before.
It's what I
know.
Slash
it's
brand new
what I
sentences.
want. I want it so bad, dude. Listen, I've said this to anybody who will listen. I think Wisconsin is one of the most beautiful states in the
Chris,
United
you
States.
can't tell people this because then
I know, 'cause then they'll start moving.
on.
No, I just want
It's like
everybody.
what's happened to parts of New York. I'm like, I just wish you didn't show this shit on TikTok. Now shit's ruined and our rent's
No,
high.
all I
Like,
want is I want anybody between the ages of like 22 and 35 to just go take over Wisconsin.
I think say like 25, 24, 25.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys
so,
don't want me
So
to know.
from Madison,
No, you're fine. Like, I'm just trying to avoid the like most recent college grads that I've seen flood New York. It is not to exclude you because you are welcome. But maybe wait a year.
from Madison, it's 4 hours. It's a 4-hour drive, and then from Milwaukee, it's a 6-hour drive, and then from Chicago, it is 7 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, it's still, it's
insane.
prohibitive. It's a prohibitive drive. Like you would need to schedule it out that if you wanted to visit, St. Paul, Minnesota, and you didn't want to rent a hotel, that you would leave at like 6 o'clock in the morning. You would arrive there by 10 a.m. And then you'd spend, if you don't want to be driving back super late, you'd spend like 7 hours maybe, and you'd be out by 6 and back by 10 again. A lot of driving.
It would be great. It would be great because I think maybe industry would ramp up there too.
Oh, totally. I mean, everything. It would change. It would literally change the fabric of the Midwest, because then you could go to Minneapolis for a job and come back. Like you wouldn't have to move. Like imagine getting a job in Minneapolis or St. Paul and you don't have to leave your hometown in anywhere around Madison, because you could just like drive to the train or like take a bus to the train and then take the train over. I digress. We're getting very off topic.
That was just my point. It's like, I do feel like attention is so skewed in the wrong ways, where like there is part of me that's like, are we making enough strides to really find out if there is life on other planets? Are we focusing on the wrong things? I think we're in a lot of political turmoil. So yes, I would like that to be resolved. But there's so many things I'm like, I do almost feel like we could be further than we are.
Well, Boeing successfully launched their
Boeing.
first rocket today.
What?
Starliner. Yeah.
No f***ing way.
Wow.
I would never
what
get
am
on a
I
Boeing
saying
rocket.
though?
but
Because
yeah.
Bezos has gone to space,
Yeah.
and he's
I just had-
gotten these
Bezos?
crazy.
I heard no news about Boeing building rockets, and they worked directly with NASA. So that's a little bit more,
Yeah.
it puts a little bit more trust, but still, no, there's no way in hell. That's crazy, dude.
They can't like fix their planes that are going this side of the atmosphere.
Grant, I want to know how you feel about these two videos and the
Yes,
topic of
yes.
UAP/UFOs.
Wow.
I think I'm probably the least cynical person here about it.
Ooh.
You're also the youngest, so
So I'm dumber.
Yeah, you're big
no,
dumb.
you just have more hope and joy.
Yeah, exactly.
in
You're
your
not
eyes.
as jaded as the rest of us. That's so funny.
I was jaded at 5
I-
though. Like we were talking about, I was jaded at 5 years old. So
I want to say right out of the gate, I'm not like an alien man.
You're
I'm
not an
like-
alien?
Yeah. No,
no, he's not an alien man.
I'm not an alien.
I'm not. It's like I'm not
anyway,
a butt or boobs guy. I'm not an alien guy.
Oh my God, just not into it.
So I'm not like really looking for evidence of aliens. However, the stories themselves are interesting. The question that he asked is the thing that is something that I keep going back to. Like, do I necessarily believe they're aliens? Not really. But what did people see? Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's reasonable to think that all these reports over the course of our history are all fake.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's reasonable to say that. So I want to know the people that are credible, that it seems like they're coming from a place of just wanting to know what happened. Most notably, the people that want to make sure it's safe, like care about safety. Like that's when I want to listen and go, what was it? Like you talked about the Zamora incident, and honestly, that's my favorite one. Not because I think it's aliens. I actually don't think it's aliens. I kind of side with his thought and the locals' thought is that the White Sands Proving Grounds is literally next door. Is it going to look exactly the way he said it, or is his story all super believable? Like you said, like when he lost sight of some of them for a moment and then they like disappear, I'm like, that is really convenient. But also, he wasn't super appreciative of the media attention he got. A lot of the evidence on the scene would have been really hard to fake. On top of the fact that other people at the same time of him noticing were reporting seeing something, and even one person reporting a police officer chasing whatever was in the sky. So whether or not his story is fully believable, I don't know. But I genuinely think something is there, and I want to know what it is.
Yeah. Maybe his conclusion
think-
is the thing that's off base, but
Right. Yeah. So like with ghosts, I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe people. So I believe that they saw something. Whether or not it was ghosts, I think it's probably not. But you never know. Like you just don't know what people saw.
You want to know what's so fucked up, Grant? Is that
that's a great way to put it, though.
Yeah, but
I
like-
believe in people, and they saw
Yeah.
something.
But here I am being so cynical of UFOs when I low key kind of believe in ghosts. Like not in the like full blown like specter thing, but I had a ghostly experience when I was a child, and yeah, I don't want to
Did you
get too.
really?
I've told you this, Katie. I've literally.
I feel like we need to have like a ghost documentary so we can just
Yeah,
get
exactly.
into it. Like all of our paranormal
I won't get
stuff.
into it
Yeah.
like that. But
Because
there's a part
I'm
of me like
so about it.
yeah, I don't. I get like, I knew kids who were like, I want to go to the graveyard with a Ouija board, and there's a certain level of me that's like, I don't want to with that because like in the same way like that I do believe in science and I do believe in all of these more concrete things. I do also believe that there's so much that we don't understand, you
Yeah.
know, and there are things that are unexplainable, right? This exact
Yeah.
thing that you're talking about, which is like some of these things we can't just write off and throw away and say like, well, it was probably whatever, right? What is that unexplainable thing? And
Right.
that's one thing for me where I don't know, man. There's bad energy out there. I've literally gone to places and been like, I don't like the energy of this place. It just like
Yeah.
feels weird, and that's so like crystal. Like I gotta go charge my crystals moment for me. But it's real. Like I've come to certain areas of the country and been like, this just feels whack, and that might just be the stimulus of the environment. There's probably a logical explanation, but I don't know. I think that
Yeah.
human beings are more tuned into the surrounding world than a
Yeah.
lot of people recognize. So anyway,
That we
little
give
Definitely.
ourselves credit for.
I also want to point out your cynicism, I don't think, is unfounded, because there's so much sensationalized stuff where even if you bring up that you're interested in UAPs, that immediately makes you look like a wacko, because you're going to be like, oh, you believe in aliens and like abductions and stuff. When I'm like, I don't even really give a shit about any of that. Like what LEMMiNO had said, it's like, it like reads like rejected scripts from the X-Files. Like it doesn't really feel real, you know? But I just keep going back to like the Washington DC event where thousands of people saw it. The US military responded publicly about it. And like, yes, they made a conclusion that was like, okay, maybe that's what it was. But like how the experts on the radar scopes disagreed with the conclusion. Like that stuff doesn't happen if there isn't anything to be curious about, you know? I personally don't know what to make of it.
Yeah.
Like whether it means that there's aliens or it's new tech, or if it really just is some kind of phenomenon we don't know about yet, whatever. And I like personally, now that the Pentagon has actually kind of gone out and said, yeah, some stuff's happened. It actually kind of happens semi-frequently. We don't really know, and we're investigating. Like stuff like that, I think is important, not to go, hey, aliens. But I think it is important to kind of make it normal. Like if you do see something and you don't know what it is and you're concerned, like let's make it a little bit more normal to be able to report that.
Yeah. It's an interesting point to make. Yeah. There's something to be said about destigmatizing it. And specifically if it's, and again, I don't want to go into my tangent, but if it's a healthy report, you know what I mean? Like if it's like, hey, I saw this thing. I don't know what it was. Yeah, I'm concerned about it. Can you please do something about it? As opposed to somebody who's like, it's proof that there's aliens, or like there's like secret government testing and they have all this technology. And then you're just, because there is, right? The reason that it's stigmatized is that there are people who are like not good. They're just not good who are reporting these things because it's fueling something for them.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't want to be this, but it's also like the Pentagon can be like, yeah, we don't know what it is, but we're investigating. Because unless you're really definitive, you're not going to be like, yeah, we think it's this. And also, like, I don't know how much they're going to tell us. There's so much that, like, we don't fucking know. Like, why does WikiLeaks exist if not? And, like, to me, I mean, I can say my really short tangent because it's not much. But, like, I do kind of think that a lot of these spottings are partially to do with, like, post-Manhattan Project and people's fears about what that would do to our world, our country. And I also think like there's an element of like the HUAC hearings. Like there's people like, oh, the communists, oh, the Russians, oh, we're getting infiltrated. That's just my thought is like a lot of this is like it's very convenient that it's all around this time period. It's like we're just in the middle of like the Manhattan Project when the tech is really ramping up and we literally have created something that can quite literally destroy life to the point of like people vaporizing. And like that is horrifying. And I mean, fucking like, why can't I think of his name right now? The dude in Oppenheimer. Duh. I just anyway, Oppenheimer literally was like, I didn't want to like really take credit for this because it's so crazy, but at the same time, someone would have done it at some point. And if it ended the war in his mind, fine. But at the same time, it's like we were so suspicious of each other. So many things are changing. I think currently our relationship with Russia is extremely tense. I think if something like this were to happen right now, I think a lot of people in the US would be susceptible to it. I mean, think about like the Russian infiltration into the election, the war, Navalny, literally Brittany Griner. Like there's so many things that we are so suspicious of Russia. And I feel like a lot of times this sort of like spying intergalactic thing is associated with almost like communist Russian hysteria that we were seeing before. And I mean, to me, like you were saying, Grant, I really like what you said. Like, I don't necessarily believe in aliens, but I believe in people. I mean, I think of like the War of the Worlds where it was like people really thought it was happening because they were hearing it on the radio. Like people are susceptible to what they hear, what they see, what they learn from others. We need to realize, like, we put into context where a lot of these sightings were around the time period.
Yeah.
The initial ones for sure, but what about the more recent ones? Like in the second video, the 2007 disc sighting, the one that resurfaced in the
2014,
New York Times and stuff like that.
I mean, that's where it's kind of crazy is I think, like, if we're talking about 2007 with the lens of someone, I mean, this was what, 3 years ago, with the lens of someone in 2021, think about the amount of technology that has just rolled right out in those 14 years. I don't think you can accurately look at something from 2007 and make a determination on what that thing is with the lens of someone in 2021.
That's fair, yeah.
So much tech has been created since that point that we are marred with that viewpoint, but
Like if there was new evidence, right? But like at the time, I imagine. I mean, even at the time, it was shot down until it was resurfaced by the New York Times 10 years later.
that was not that long after 9/11. I think there's like a lot of fear. I'm not saying it's completely off base, but I think like it is important to be like, okay, what are the world events that are almost close to be surrounding this thing?
Yeah.
You know?
What you're essentially saying is world events driving the elevation of reality or the expectation of something grander or like the fear of something beyond ourselves affecting our lives.
Yeah, because if we're still talking about 9/11 with the fear that we are, I mean, in airports and everything, that was 20 years ago. Like, it wasn't that long ago, but it's still long enough that our world has drastically changed. But we are still talking about it and are fearful of it.
That's also why Grant thinks we should look into it, is because, like,
Yeah.
Luis Elizondo, the guy in the second video, resigned from government work investigating UAPs because he felt that they didn't, because he felt that it was a matter of national security, and that I can see how that could be true, and it might explain why. Like maybe it's a good thing that we're on alert after these major world events, looking for stuff like this.
Oh, totally.
But I would like to ask Grant, like, if it was that important to national security, wouldn't we have had like a major disaster that could have been explained by one of these things or something?
We're talking purely theoretical at this point, but just like how it feels impossible that we don't have really high quality evidence, I think it's just as likely that the truth is strange.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't really like getting into like what it could be, because personally, I think it's probably going to be like, oh, honestly, I think like his conclusion that he made at the end of the first video was lies from the government about tech that they're making and lies about aliens will be indistinguishable for us. So we will have no idea what they actually are lying about. So there's no way to know.
I just got to say, I agree with that point. I don't completely
Yeah.
think like, oh my God, like we're just hysterical, blah, blah, blah. I think what I don't believe in is like the answers we have been given.
Right. And I think my point is that don't make conclusions. I think the point of these videos is not to make conclusions. It's instead to go, hey, maybe let's look at this again and go, let's just consider. Let's just think about, like, maybe we should look at this. Maybe it could be dangerous. Whatever it is, we don't know what it is. And I think, especially when it comes with the new evidence, I think it's important to note that if it were sensational or if it were people that wanted to see something, that were afraid or were susceptible to see something, it's a lot less likely to be pilots. It's a lot less likely to be government officials. Like how there was that one incident, I can't remember which one, where a colonel called wanting to know more. Like that is not normal. I would say if it were just people, you know, like just like regular schmucks, like, yeah, whatever. I don't really care. But the fact that it is the government that is confirming that these reports are real and that they're considering them, then I'm like, okay, does it mean it's aliens? No. Does it mean it's new tech? No. But it does mean they don't know and that they're willing to agree that whatever it is, they want to know more. And I think that's the important part.
Or they're saying they don't know and they do know and they don't want us to know.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. And that was the conclusion at the end of the first video.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chris, go for it.
For the audio listeners,
my
I was
God.
raising my hand and I was being ignored. No, I wasn't being ignored. They just finishing their points. But I just started to make some little baby. I don't even know what to call this. I was just doing a little dance.
Coquetty
Anyway,
gesture,
but this
gestures.
is. I just want to jump on that point, Grant, of two where a lot of the argument inside the video and from people is like, well, these aren't normal people, right? These are experts in their field, and they're, people who fly these things and use this technology on a daily basis. That doesn't mean they're infallible. One doesn't mean they're infallible. Didn't say that anybody. I'm not saying that you're saying that. Not saying that they're saying that. But it's just something else to recognize. One doesn't mean they're infallible. Two, a lot of the comments on the video, the second video with the more recent reports, they're bringing up a good point in a meme, in a joke, which is, let me see here. This comment says, pilots in movies, confirmed, locked on target. Pilots in real life, yo, dude, look at it go! Right? Let's be real for a second. These are still normal people. And yeah, they use the technology on a daily basis, but it doesn't mean that they necessarily understand the conventions of what they're looking at, like parallax. Do you think that every single pilot is trained on exactly what parallax is in regards to camera systems? Because no, the targeting system is going to take care of it. That's all you got to know. You got to know how the targeting system works. You got to get the fundamentals, but they don't know about parallax or lens flares. Not really. I might be putting my foot in my mouth too. I'm fully aware of that. But in the same way, there's also something that I personally believe in, and I've never seen like a term coined for this in my research. Expert blindness. I have worked with so many people who are an expert in their field, and they dismiss possibilities based on their expertise, right? Which is like, well, it couldn't possibly be this because I've been doing this and I know this and I know that. And then they're proven wrong. I literally was troubleshooting with somebody who was experiencing echo, and I'm like, it's probably a feedback loop from you being in the same space or this. Can you try this? And I was literally in a studio with him. I wasn't on camera, but I was in a studio with him, and I could see his face. He's like, no, couldn't possibly. He's like, I've been an audio engineer for 12 years. I think I would know how to identify echo and get rid of it if it was something so simple. And I was like, well, let's just rule it out while I'm here. Can you just try just to see? And sure enough, he turned on echo cancellation. It went away. And then his wife put on headphones and it went away. And I watched his face go from this. Like, he was like, whatever, right? Listeners, I'm making a very angry face. Pissed off that I have to do this. He goes over to the computer and he like does it. And then when the echo stopped, his face softened. He was like very confused. He was like, what, right? Because he was blind because of how much expertise that he has on this subject. It couldn't possibly be the simplest thing. It couldn't possibly be this. So when you have people who are experts in their field looking at something that they can't explain, well, yeah, sometimes it's because they're like, well, it couldn't possibly be this or it couldn't possibly be that because, well, it would be this or it would be that. And they start to rely on their own human expertise. But humans are fallible, and the systems that we build are fallible and prone to error. Just because it's the most accurate thing we've made to date doesn't mean that it also can't be wrong at times.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's just, I wanted to jump in on that with a small tangent of like, yeah. These are like experts in their fields. They're radar operators, they're traffic controllers, they're pilots, they're aerospace engineers themselves. But it doesn't mean that they couldn't be wrong.
Certainly. And I want to flip that logic on its head a little bit. Just like people are fallible, like experts are fallible, I agree. I'm willing to bet that a good chunk of the expert witness stuff are probably maybe a little wrong. But at the same time, I think it's also good to acknowledge that there has been a huge stigma that the flip side is then a problem, where there are credible who did see something that is met with, no, that's not what it is. Like, that's just like...
You couldn't possibly do that.
It's temperature inversions.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. Where, like, just like he said, people are afraid of losing their promotion, of looking crazy. So there is that stigma. So I think there's, like with anything, there's enough gray here that I think it's, I don't know. I'm not saying that Tic Tac is real or that there's some hidden spaceship under the ocean or something. Yeah. But I am saying that enough experts, enough people who look at the sky for a living have said that they're like, I don't know what that is. And that's enough to go, doesn't mean it's aliens. Doesn't even necessarily mean it's anything crazy. It just means maybe we should look instead of stop telling them.
Instead of brushing it
instead
under
of
the
just,
rug, yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly.
That's such a hard thing for humans to do, though, isn't it? Of like just holding in your head that there's this idea that we don't have answers to and that we're just like searching for answers, but we don't have one. That's like really hard because we immediately want to go, yes, it's real, it's this, or no, it's not real. But like just remaining in that state of uncertainty it's very tough. Also, it's possible that it's multiple things, that like a certain cluster of the sightings is because of aliens, and then a different cluster is because of government experiments. A different one is like literally floaters in your eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Malfunction of technology. Like, there's so many things that could happen. Absolutely. And I know we've kind of like teased about our tangents, but I'd like to, if you guys are cool, move on to our tangents about what we want to talk about.
Mine was basically what I said. So
Yeah.
Go
Okay, great.
forth.
Mo.
Yeah.
What, do you have a tangent for us?
Yeah. So I was obsessed looking at all of the meteor footage in Portugal. And so I'll share my screen and show you some of it. And this kind of made me like become a bit more on the side of people saying, we have modern technology that shows you like really cool, clear and there's so many people that would be able to see it, and you'd have like a bunch of different versions to see. Okay, so here's the first one. And this one's a compilation, so it'll show you multiple vantage points. And like meteors are pretty quick. And it's just, it's so obvious, and like people have captured it from all over the world, different vantage points.
That's a cool shot.
So
That's a
sick.
really
That was
cool
so
shot. Oh
sick.
my
Yeah.
God.
Whoa.
This one,
I looked
I
this
know what
up
you're
when you
saying.
brought it up, and I was like, holy shit.
I know what you're saying, Mo, about like, here's the thing is, as something that I think about all the time, is that the scale of the universe is massive. The scale of our planet is massive. They always talk about that if you scaled the Earth down to the size of a billiard ball, it would be the smoothest billiard ball you've ever touched, which is actually incorrect. Technically, it's incorrect, but it would still be incredibly smooth. A meteor going across, arcing across the curvature of the Earth, going however many thousands of miles. Actually, let me just quick fact check. Oh my God.
it's a big number.
Yeah. So meteors can travel through Earth's upper atmosphere at speeds ranging from 25,000 to 160,000 miles per hour, which would be the fastest thing that if we could fly that fast, that would be insane, right?
It's not a lot of miles.
It's not a lot of miles. It's actually a lot of miles. And specifically,
It's a lot
it's the
of
reason that
miles.
meteors are burning up in our atmosphere, right? So when you look at those videos, and even if they're not going the full 25,000, they're still going thousands of miles an hour, arcing across the night sky, and it looks slow to us. Why? Because they're traveling a great distance, arcing across the curvature of the Earth. So yeah, if we can capture something on our phones that looks kind of slow, going thousands of miles an hour, it begs the question, which is also, I feel like I've used that phrase incorrectly before, but it asks the question, or it makes you think, you know, how the do we not capture the other things? They must be going like mind-bendingly fast if our modern technology cannot capture them.
And then my second tangent was just, I was just going to summarize the 2022 government report from the Pentagon and most recently the 2024 one. So in 2022, they basically, this was unclassified in January of 2023, and it basically suggested that they have been doing a lot of aircraft testing throughout the years, and that most reported UFO sightings can be attributed to this, and some of this includes drones and stuff like that, but that they are taking the overall like reports seriously. They looked at 510 UAP reports. Most of this was from US Navy and Air Force personnel, and it came through official channels, not just like random people on YouTube. 366 of them have been identified. 26 were characterized as uncrewed aircraft systems or drones. 163 were balloons or balloon-like entities. 6 were airborne clutter like birds. And then 171 left. Those were uncharacterized and unattributed. So they basically said these are unexplained. It seems like they are keeping somewhat of an open mind, that they're not necessarily going into it like they did in one of the videos that we saw where they were like actively looking for stuff to disqualify it. It seems like now they're more like neutral about it. And then recently in 2024, it was just saying most of it was regular objects that were misclassified. and they said there's no evidence of aliens or extraterrestrial technology. And for some reason they threw in, we're not trying to reverse engineer alien technology or cover anything up. I was like, I don't know why you guys added that in. But
Why'd you bring that up, guys? Nobody was talking about that.
exactly. But it's cool that like something official came out, like addressing all of this. That was cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. And that's kind of the, like, what I figured the conclusion would be, is that mostly it's just, you know, a balloon or birds or whatever. But it is really cool that they're actually investigating it and taking it seriously for once. That is really cool.
So my tangent is about escapism, because I feel that this is probably one of the greatest forms of escapism, at least in American culture. First, escapism is a mental diversion from unpleasant aspects of daily life, typically through activities involving imagination or entertainment. It can be a way to occupy yourself during times of turmoil, and it really cropped up during the Great Depression. So when people were experiencing intense poverty and downturn, they turned to music and television, all these things, to literally escape the awful parts of their life. And I'm in the camp that escapism can be a good thing in some ways. We would not have high fantasy like Tolkien. We wouldn't have science fiction. We wouldn't have art, really, if we didn't have escapism.
We wouldn't have Dune.
We wouldn't have Dune.
Well-
we wouldn't have Dune without escapism. Well, I mean,
Psilocybin.
I don't know. Yeah, he took a
that,
lot of
but-
mushrooms. So mushrooms and escapism, I'm not trying to draw that conclusion right now. But to me, this seems to be like the highest form of escapism, because it's something that we've had like direct reports of, as we've been saying, where it's like, well, we have these things that people saw with corroborating evidence, eyewitness accounts, that there's something unexplainable happening, right? And when I hear that, I'm like, oh yeah, and that's because there's so much stuff that we don't know about this universe. But some people listen to that and they go, no, it means that there's something greater. And that's where it starts to get a little, because if you can focus on something that you firmly believe to be rooted in reality that is greater than you, it can take up everything for you. It's a huge distraction. If tomorrow they confirmed these were actual extraterrestrials, we've been able to confirm that much, but we've never made contact. If they actually confirmed that, the world would stop. You know what I mean? Like, maybe not. Maybe I'm being a little
No, I think
bombastic
you're
in that
right.
statement. But I think, I mean, like, I would be like, how can we focus on literally anything else
Right.
Yeah.
if aliens are real and we have proof and they visited us? Like,
I
what
would
does that mean?
immediately hoard all the toilet paper.
Yeah, I would start buying toilet paper
So true.
so
Mo.
quickly.
So
yeah,
true.
it's-
Because they can be
but-
used as toilet paper and tissue. Like Chris.
Yep. Like me today,
Yeah,
'cause I'm
see?
a little under the weather.
Show it, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toilet paper cam.
Toilet paper ASMR.
That is so graphic, man.
Why are you
I
spanking
know.
it? Stop. What?
Chris,
What is this?
I'm just trying to like make sound with it, but there's
don't
the
put your
part-
fingers anywhere close to that
You
hole.
have if you're visualizing something, that's your own fault.
No.
You have a dirty mind.
You spanked it, and
I
then you were like,
simply patted it. How else do
yeah,
you make
yeah, no,
sound?
I
don't
didn't even have to. I didn't even have to
With
say
a
it.
toilet
Grant
paper-
said it. I'm not telling you to make sound. I'm just telling you to show it and then put it down.
Well, I wanted to do ASMR, and you made it.
I don't know. I think that's a good clip. So
I had a very innocent intention, and you all ruined
Blah,
it.
blah, blah,
You all
blah,
took
blah.
it someplace dirty
hey, man, I thought it was funny.
disgusting.
I didn't like. I liked it.
and I feel gross.
This
now.
comes from the man who, whenever we do the crossword and he doesn't know what the word is, he goes, oh yeah, and then he types in "cum" with the amount of M's that will be used.
That's
He
the
goes,
whole
"Oh,
joke.
I got it."
Probably.
Cum.
I mean, like it's probably come. You know, it's like
It's never cum.
It's gotta be.
there's that one clip.
It's
of,
never
Someone
cum.
play Jackbox. It's always,
It's always
cum.
come. No, I hate. Okay, but anyway, there's a video of a guy.
Exposing him.
He always like when he sees something, it's like watch this like perpetual motion machine. He just like stares at it for a second and he goes, "Well, it's got to be powered by cum.
Yeah, it's gotta be cum.
It's
That's
gotta
what
be
it is.
powered by
Yeah.
cum." That's where that stems from. And I have a stupid infantile mind.
No, those videos are great.
Yeah. So anyway, back to
Oh
my.
yeah, I know what it is.
And we're taking this tangent and we're turning it back to my
It's a tangent
tangent.
of a tangent.
The tangent of the tangent. Yeah.
You know what you can use toilet paper for?
What's that, Katie?
Kleenex?
Come.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Bringing it back.
Let's go.
You thought this episode was about UFOs. You
No,
were
you're
wrong.
dead
About
wrong. It's about things that we
Why do
think
you
about
think
all the time.
UAP sounds like WAP?
Does
Sounds
it?
like UAP.
Oh,
UAP. Anyway, it's all to say that, yeah, if we learned about all this or if it was true, we wouldn't worry about anything anymore. Your rent, your taxes, your job, your health, whatever. Anything that you are struggling with, you'd be like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because life exists outside of us. We got to figure that out, you know? And I view it genuinely as the people who are really obsessed with it, it's like a very unhealthy obsession because it's escapism in its purest form. It's a desire for transcendence. You know, I think that's like a really good way of putting it, is because if that exists, that means that there's technology that exists that for interplanetary travel. And how amazing would that be, right? To literally leave Earth and travel among the stars. I dream about that. That's amazing, but it's not reality. The more you study physics, there's like this loop that you take of like, wow, physics is incredible. And the speed of light on the scale of the universe is just not that fast. So it's kind of depressing because the closest galaxy to us is Alpha Centauri, and it's like 250 million light years away, which means that it takes light, the fastest thing in the universe, 250 million years to reach it. So we would never see it ever, right? We would never be able to go there. And that's really kind of like, But then you go down even further and it's like, there's still, even that, there's still so much that we don't know. I mean, black holes, for example, and wormholes, and the opposite of black holes, white holes, and how that all relates to universes and times. And it's just like, you could go down and then it's like, whoa, yeah, there's so much that we don't know. But we also need to be realistic because that's the healthy way of existing.
well said.
Really well said.
I love this meme, and I think it's what would happen with aliens.
Oh my God. No, for real. That is so funny. For the audio listeners, Mo has pulled up a picture of the dinosaurs watching the world-ending meteor strike, and one of the dinosaurs is saying, "Oh no, the economy!" It's so true. I feel like we'd learn about aliens, and the stock market would begin to crash, and they'd be like, "No, everybody, don't freak out about that. Go back to work. Make sure to pay your mortgage." We would hate to have the economy crumble so that when the aliens come, you know, we all, I don't know. Why are we putting on airs for the aliens, man?
I guess it's a good thing then, because then it's almost, if you think about it, it's like my mortgage means nothing. The economy is made up. And
Exactly.
you spiral, but it is good.
It would be incredible to learn tomorrow that UFOs and aliens are real and there's like physics-defying technology, and we're about to experience that transcendence of getting not only that technology, but if that technology exists, what else exists? Is there life-extending technology, cancer-curing technology? It's like Elysium, that one Matt Damon movie, you know, where they're in space. That was so general.
We're
Matt Damon
there in
one.
space.
So The Martian?
I think it's called Spaceman.
Oh, the spaceman goes to space. And yeah, we would all stop having to worry about these like day-to-day life things that encompass our lives. But it's just,
Yeah.
you know,
It's like
not real.
the first episode, Chris, you and I started it, of one of the American Horror Story seasons. And they're like, yeah, something's hitting LA. The world's about to end, but we have this crazy bunker. And like everybody's freaking out trying to get on this plane. I think that's what was happening. And it's true.
yeah, it
You're
was like one of the more
oh,
recent seasons. And they essentially, the United States was about to get nuked and everybody was about to die.
everybody's
But
like,
there were
"What?"
survivors in a bunker.
Very rich people vibes.
But it makes you think like, well, what would happen?
Yeah.
Also, Christian, after your tangent, and Mo was like, "That's really well said," and he said, "And also." To like bring up the meme, I genuinely thought he was gonna go, and also fuck you, you're stupid. I hate you.
That's so, and also
Wow.
real piss poor work there, buddy, because
I really did not do good work.
And also, come.
and also, dude,
Dude's so right.
that's right. I was in debate in high school. Oh, dude.
Dude, every time I'm in a debate, I just go, "You're nitpicking and biased."
No, you're nitpicking
That's how I
and
win.
biased. That is an ad hominem straw man argument. So,
Yeah.
therefore, I win.
I'm smarter. Ratio.
My dad says I'm the smartest kid.
Then whatever you were saying just now, it's right.
Thank you.
If we want a green room right now, I have a question for the green
Well, what
room.
about doesn't Grant have a
I
tangent?
have a tangent.
Oh, I'm
It's a short
sorry.
one.
I thought you did. I didn't mean.
You son of a bitch.
I'm not a boy.
You made Mo sad.
You put a literal rain cloud
I made
over
Mo
Mo.
rain.
Like he's in Tom and Jerry.
Yeah,
or
that was.
Looney Tunes or
I'm
whatever.
sorry.
I don't know.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it.
Oh, you're fine. No, don't worry about it. No, I think it is really interesting when looking at the topic of aliens or ghosts or really anything that's more controversial is how people react. I think that's really interesting. And I think even watching our discussion, I think is really interesting how people want to categorize.
Or make sense of it.
Right. It has to mean something. Assimilation is a psychological term. Sorry, bringing it back. But you make boxes for things. As you grow up, you have these boxes. And then, so as a kid, let's say assimilation is basically like you had a box for an animal that has 4 legs. And the first animal with 4 legs that you saw was a dog. But then all of a sudden you see a horse. You're like 4 years old or whatever. And so the little kid will go, that's a dog because it has 4 legs. It's an animal. So I'm assimilating this new information into the boxes that I currently have. So I think what's really interesting about the UFO conversation is that watching how different people assimilate new information. Mm-hmm. On one end, you see these sensationalized things about people going, it's aliens, there's something new, like the government's lying to us, like it's all these big, massive things. Or on the flip side, people are really quick to go, no, that's not what you think it is. I have to disprove it. The gray in the situation is scary to both polar opposites. Like it's scary to look at, well, I don't know what this is. And to be able to admit that you don't know what it is and that it could be something crazy or it could not be, and holding that at the same time, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really scary to do that. Like unknown is really scary to humans as a whole. So I think it's really fascinating to watch new information come out or these stories and see how people respond. Because personally, I want to see what happens. I'm open-minded. I would love if Tic Tacs were like these aliens and they're like, I don't know, doing whatever they're doing in the ocean.
We've
I
been
don't care.
eating aliens this entire time.
Yeah, literally. That's where my brain went. I was like,
Tic Tacs
Tic
are
Tacs.
aliens. They're alien
Or-
eggs.
Would I also love if that pilot came out and said, actually, I was eating Tic Tacs and we went into 0G and one flew up and I got confused. Like either way, I want to see what happens
yeah.
and I'm open to either one.
I would love all the explanations to be that fucking wacky. It was
Right?
a literal Tic Tac floating because he was like taking a harsh turn or dive or something
We
like
go
that.
from like currently conceived reality to like it could be aliens and like extraterrestrial life to like it was a Tic Tac and it floated. Like it feels like it's even beyond. Like it's so crazy and silly. Yeah.
At least my takeaway from all of this is that it makes me excited because it's just more evidence that there's more we don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's likely not anything exciting, but if it was, that's cool. I think just the fact that we don't know is exciting.
What would it take for you guys to be convinced that UFOs are a thing now? Like, given how easy it is to just spoof shit, whether that be through Photoshop or AI tools or whatever. Like, what would it actually take nowadays? You would have to like be able to see it, touch it. What would it take?
I feel like I would need to see it, and I would need like the news to be like, you saw this. It's like when an earthquake happens. It happened in New York, and they were like, oh, there's a shaking. That's really weird. Ask my neighbors. They're like, yeah, I felt it too. And then the news was like, yeah, that was an earthquake. And like, I don't fully trust the news, but if like, I don't watch the news because I'm a kid, but like, if I saw something and then on my phone it was like everybody's blowing it up and it's like I saw it too, we start making assumptions together or like sort of like collective thinking, that's when I think I would be like, oh.
The bar is like a lot higher now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would want like a Washington, D.C. type event where like there's stuff, thousands of people have seen it. Like with the meteor. I want that. Because as we know, with natural phenomenon, or like, this is a very slight tangent, like how the game No Man's Sky, for those of you who don't know, it's overpromised. Everyone thought there'd be multiplayer and whatever. And there's like 14 quintillion planets or something ridiculous. And they're like, you can totally see other players, but then just a sheer stroke of luck, within a day, 2 players were on the same planet and they couldn't see each other. And the developers were just blown away because they genuinely didn't think that was going to happen. Because like statistically, that doesn't make any sense. Like that would never happen. But just like that, we see that in the real world. Like when there's a meteor, like that video that we saw, she was just kind of recording like whatever. And then it just kind of flew by. Like that stuff happens to humans frequently.
Yeah.
I want a meteor-like event that's in broad daylight, that's in front of a bunch of people, a major city, and I want the government to be like, we don't know what the that is. And I want the news to be like, we have like angles everywhere, just everywhere. And it's not just like news people, it's all walks of life. Like it has to be a lot of boxes checked.
Here's mine, and it's going to go even further than both of those. I want the aliens to make contact.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're laughing, but genuinely.
No, it's true, because I think we could see something and it could be like, that could be a thing we don't know, or like nobody's telling us. But if they like make contact.
The thing for me is like, as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, well, what is the actual criteria that would need to be met for me to be like, yeah, it's definitely a fucking alien, is kind of what you're describing, Mo. Oh my God. Wow. Holy crap. Grant. That was like the craziest like blank of a name I've ever had, because I was like, no, not Mo.
You hate me. I know, it's okay.
Anyway, Grant. The criteria would be like, okay, yeah, broad daylight, at least 50 people in various parts of a single area see it and are able to record it and corroborate. And it's clear enough that we can get a good look at it, like a really good look. But at that point, that means it would probably need to be pretty close, because most people would be filming on like iPhones and stuff like that. And even though iPhones are better than they've ever been, it's just like, not everybody has like the latest one, whatever. But then I was like, by that point, they're close enough to us that their intention would probably be to make contact. So
Or kill us.
Either I would start to believe it when the bombs start dropping, or the aliens start talking to us. Like that's really, because like, at that point, wouldn't the intention of if the alien doesn't want to be seen, like if they're not trying to make contact with us, why would they let us see them, or like get even close enough that we could get a proper picture of them? And if they can, that means their intention has changed. So for me, it's like, I will fully believe it when it's direct contact.
They got to come down in the Dune float.
Yeah.
Like, have y'all seen Dune too? With like the
SARTA car coming down.
car, and they're like,
Oh.
yeah.
oh,
What about you, Mo, though? What would it take for you?
I think I'm with Chris. I want them to do a fucking press conference with our journalist.
For real? I want them to like write in the sky, like, what's up?
Mo needs to get
like,
married to an alien to believe it.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I won't believe in aliens until I'm having sex with one. God damn it! I want to the aliens. Then I'll believe it.
Terrifying.
I want holy matrimony with an extraterrestrial.
You can have alien
I
people
want to feel
in
the
Sims.
caress of them long, spindly fingers or whatever they got.
Oh my God, Chris. The long,
I wanna-
suctiony fingers.
I won't believe in aliens until I'm looking one in the eye, caressing them, experiencing an intimate moment
Lovingly.
with the alien.
Guys,
Like
I think this is a great transition.
well, I was gonna say Mo's gonna have a girlfriend next week, and we're gonna be like, who?
We're bringing
who
it
is-
back, baby.
Well, I was
This
gonna
is the
say,
most childish episode we've recorded.
yeah. Mo's gonna have a girlfriend next week, and we're gonna be like, who is she? And he's like, I can't show you pictures. We're gonna be like,
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing but blurry pictures. And
Yeah.
like,
is she green?
it's like, this is what she looks like on radar.
She goes to school in Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
Canada.
Goes to another school.
Yeah.
She goes to another school. So true.
Very real. But anyway, that's a great transition into the green room. I don't know if we've done like a full introduction of what this is.
Queen
Basically,
womb.
we're talking about random about what's been going on with our week, or whatever we want to talk about that doesn't have to do with the documentary.
Amen.
I wanted to ask, because we were talking about debate, what were the like clubs you guys did growing up? Or like extracurriculars?
I did improv.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can tell.
I don't know if that's,
We-
I don't know
we
if
can
that's
tell,
obvious. No, I did competitive
You
improv
can
for
smell it on someone.
3 or 4 years.
Competitive
Yeah, right?
improv?
I know.
No, that's so cool.
Wait,
No.
How do you judge
No, it's
who
not.
wins improv?
That's the problem, is you can't. This is I did like a whole thing about this. It doesn't make any sense. I hate it.
You're like, this is why I
but-
started to study psychology because it affected me
Yeah,
so
exactly.
deeply.
They drove me to psychology. No, it definitely changed my perspective on art and stuff. Like what subjectivity is. Sure. Because like a lot of it was like objective or whatever when it's entertainment. How can that possibly be objective?
Totally. But you weren't a theater kid.
Yes and no. I grew up in a theater company, but I was mostly backstage.
Did we talk about this?
What do you mean you grew up in a
Maybe.
theater company?
So like okay, all right.
You were
this is
birthed
really
by a
gonna-
stage manager.
He ran away from
Yes.
home.
It's like
Yeah,
the
literally
circus.
joined the circus. Yeah.
Just for context, audience, me and Chris are both actors, so we're not actually making fun of theater.
Oh, I am. Oh, I am.
Yeah. No, you're allowed to. You're absolutely allowed to. No, I was homeschooled growing up.
I knew
And
that.
so I didn't have public school, so we went and did extracurriculars. So the thing that we did is there was this theater company. So that's where kind of my social life was, where I grew up. Like a lot of my upbringing was through theater, but I wasn't usually on stage. I think I did one show like in cast. Otherwise I was backstage doing sets and stuff.
Cool.
That's so cool.
So technically a theater kid, but not really.
Yeah.
That's a
'Cause
theater kid.
I was like a full blown theater kid. I was like, my parents sent me to theater camps. I did improv. I did all of
wow.
that. I loved it. I mean, like there's one. This is kind of cringy, but the tagline of it was life skills through stage skills. It was First Stage in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I maintain that I am the person that I am today because I went to a bunch of theater camps and they taught me things like how do you like exist in your body? How do you speak in front of people, right? How do you deal with stress and your heart rate rising when you have to do something that you're scared of doing, right? The motto of First Stage too, it's not their tagline, but the motto is be bold and fail mightily, because it's better to try and fail than to never try at all. And if you make a big choice as an actor, yeah, it might not be the greatest choice you could make, but what if it is? What if you make this big, bold choice in your acting and it turns out to be one of the greatest things you've ever done? You know, without people making bold choices, we wouldn't have Marlon Brando, we wouldn't have Florence Pugh, we wouldn't have Meryl Streep, wouldn't have, I don't know, Anthony Hopkins. You know, there's so
people told
many
Meryl Streep she was too ugly to be an actress.
Yeah, right? Insane.
And that person's probably dead.
Amen.
And nobody knows who they are.
So yeah, it's just I did a bunch of that. I did forensics, never did debate. I hated people on debate. I'll be honest. People on debate
Wasn't
were
your forensics
insufferable.
thing like debating though?
Nope.
Oh.
We did forensics and debate that were like dual forensics debate meets, and the debate team traveled with the forensics team, but I was never a debater.
But what do you do in forensics?
Master.
I was going to make that joke.
Bring it back to come. Let's go.
Come, baby.
No, forensics is performance. Forensics has different rules for performance, but it's acting and poetry and prose and things like that. Duos.
Poetry?
group. Yeah, you could literally read poetry as one of your categories. So people were on stage reading not poetry they'd necessarily written, but just like reading poetry.
So you're not like analyzing like
Stuff for crime?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good question. I don't know why forensics and forensics, because I think they're spelled exactly the same.
FORENSICS.
Yep.
That's so weird.
I can't find anything on it when I Google it. Jesus.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Search forensics performance. Let's see here.
I literally, when you told me you did forensics, I'm like, homeboy was looking at petri dishes of like fake cells.
Yeah, if you add performance, then you can see some stuff. But if you just write forensics, yeah, it just shows you the crime stuff.
Is this like a Midwest thing?
Forensics is the collective term for both speech and debate. Most tournaments have both speech and debate events, and students commonly double enter or cross enter and compete in one debate event and then two speech events or stuff like that. So it's speech and debate is forensics.
Okay, I learned something totally
Interesting.
new. That's
And if you
fucking
thought
crazy.
theater kids were cringe, forensics kids and debate, it's like the tiers, it's like theater, musical theater, forensics. That's right. It's like actually no, I would place musical theater higher. Musical
Definitely
theater,
put it on top.
theater.
Definitely.
forensics.
Where are we going?
Band. Don't forget bands. Don't forget bands.
I was in choir. I was in band. I was in all of those things.
Anyway,
We know.
Mo.
Yeah, can you tell?
I did sports. Especially,
I was waiting for you to be like, so I did debate.
I did. I was the king of the cringe. Yeah. I did basketball, soccer, and math competition and chess.
Hell yeah,
Math is not
dude.
a sport.
How dare you?
Yeah,
You said
ooh,
club.
ooh.
It was just like he listed it alongside. He was like, I did sports.
Yeah, you're right.
Basketball, soccer, math.
You ever heard of a mathlete?
Yeah.
I didn't think
Oh,
so.
trust me.
Also,
I know.
Fortnite. That's also a sport.
I mean, technically true.
Begrudgingly, it is. What about you, Katie?
I danced from the time I was like 4.5 to 16, and that took over a lot of my life. But I did soccer for like 1 or 2 years. I did basketball. I did volleyball. I did lacrosse. I did one meeting of Quidditch. We started a Quidditch club at my school.
Ain't no way.
You can play Quidditch, technically.
So it goes Quidditch, musical theater.
100%. 100%.
Jeez.
Yeah, we never had another meeting. I did Girl Scouts for a while. What else did I do? I went to Performing Arts High School and I did one. Okay, so in 5th grade, I did one like theater camp. I was too afraid to sing, unlike everybody else. So I got a monologue and then I messed up the monologue. I was like, I'm scared to do this, but I always wanted to be an actor, but I don't know, my friends thought it was stupid, so peer pressure. So I did sports and I was not great at them, but I did mostly dance for a long time. I did theater in high school because I was in performing arts. Oh, in 8th grade, I did Princess Club, which was something only 8th grade girls could do, and it was like we were learning manners and like walking around in heels. It was very weird.
You were doing etiquette?
Basically, but it was like a cool
Jeez.
thing you could do in 8th grade. In high school, I was in something called Spark, which was like basically peer mentoring. Like we were like helping people at orientation. We would be the people like if you came to any like welcome week events and stuff like that, we would be those people. I did welcome week in college. I was really into that. I think that's it.
Nice.
My green room topic is because I saw Katie posted. I just thought of it now because I had one thing I wanted to talk about and then whatever, I forgot about it. So what is a game that you foresee coming out if you're a gamer, right? Or like even a theoretical game, even if you don't game a whole lot, that once it comes out, you're gonna have to take a week off of work to just like play it for a while.
Yeah, who were we talking about?
We were talking
They
to
said
John
this.
Fulton, and I completely agree. My buddy John just stayed with us, so we're referencing him a lot now. Shout out John Fulton. And
2 references per episode.
yes, he said Elder Scrolls, the new Elder Scrolls 6 game.
Ooh, good choice.
Because yeah, even if it's, I have my own opinions about Starfield. I've never played it, but I really don't want to. It's just all the reports
Don't.
are like,
Don't do it.
yeah, not great. And even though Skyrim is objectively bad in many ways, it's just too good, man. I don't know. I can just sink hours into that shit. So when Elder Scrolls 6 eventually comes out, you're not going to
I
see
know
me for a
nothing
while.
about this.
Yeah. Katie, imagine Baldur's Gate, but I'll be playing it even more.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Oh, it looks like Bloodborne.
Maybe it looks like it, but it's not the same kind of play
The
style
guy's
at
little
all.
helmet looks like it. Don't you? I hope you all know that, like, if you ever need to forget what, like, your life with video games is, you could just talk to me because I am, like, discovering video games. I didn't grow up with, like, video games that much. I had the Wii, and I loved like any of the Well, I played Sims growing up, but like I don't really consider that one of like the big video games. Chris is teaching me finally The Last of Us, and that's hysterical. I get really stressed out when people attack me, so I start spamming the the trigger to shoot people, and I get stressed out, and then I have to start over multiple times. But I was a Sims kid, so if you're ever like, oh, I wonder what my world would be like without video games, you can just ask me, because I'm like,
Sounds
oh,
good.
what is Elder Scrolls? He looks like the guy in Bloodborne. It's like talking to a grandparent about like technology.
Is this a Dark Soul?
Yeah, literally.
Is this a rogue type?
I'm just like, what?
Rogue
Why is he look
type
like that?
Game.
It was
His
like what
armor.
I was watching. We were rewatching Dune, which I love. What'd you say?
It's his armor.
It's his armor.
You asked why he looked like that. And it's his armor.
his armor.
It's just what it is.
Jesus Christ.
We were
That's so funny.
rewatching Dune, and Dune has like a lot of lore that our friend John, who we were just talking about, he read the books already or read the first book. So there are certain things, like certain questions I had when I was watching, I just like accepted it. But he was like explaining a lot of things, and I'm sort of like that. I'm like, why is that like that? And why did the Bene Gesserit do that? And how did they do that?
So Katie put into our little private chat something about GTA 6. Like we got something before we got GTA 6. And so we were walking to the train the other day, and there was a car with like a really cool vinyl wrap that was making it like pearlescent. And Katie points at it and she says, "Look, Chris, a GTA."
I didn't mean it.
Wow,
I just
a
meant
GTA.
it looks like a GTA car. It was like basically like matte, like a weird like goldish color, metallic
Yeah.
looking like matte. And I meant to say like it looks like it's from GTA, but I'm like, it's a GTA. And he was like,
It's a goddamn Nintendo.
come in. He was like, come again? And I'm like, it looks like it's like when you know your brain's at like half processing power, and it's like, it's GTA.
It's the GTAs. It's
It's
know,
the
it's
Jeetas.
It's that. It's
It's
Jeetas.
the Jeetas.
The Goodas.
I think if I it would be Sims 5 would be my game.
That is happening.
Yeah.
The next one is, I think it's free to play. I think that's what we heard.
Well,
Free.
they made
Yeah, right.
the actual base game of Sims 4 free to play, and all the add-ons
Yeah.
are paid. But I think like if you're a Sims player, you know that like Sims 3 had so many things in it that are like just not to caliber in Sims 4. Like obviously the graphics are better, but like you could have cars, you could watch people like driving their cars. Like there's certain things that you're like, it will never be the same. And I think GTA 5. Sims 5 would be like a beautiful combination and more advancements.
Yeah.
Because I think they built a lot more for Sims 4, but yeah, that would be mine.
Grant, Mo.
about you, Mo?
Yeah, Mo, go ahead.
Wait, Chris, did you go already? Was yours
Yeah,
Elder
mine
Scrolls?
was the Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I have another one. Did you guys ever play? You probably didn't because this was my loser video game. I was obsessed with My Sims Agents on the Wii. It was like the big head
I played My
Sims.
Sims, but not Agents.
Yeah, so you know how they have the really big heads? My Sims Agents was a fucking sick game on the Wii. And I want them to make a second version because it was really fun.
So for me, I'm not sure between these three, but I'll name them all. So if there's another Zelda that is not open world, I will fucking jump on that. But I hate open world games so much. I don't know why, and I just keep getting. I have a very hard time like completing them or like picking a direction and then like pursuing that or just like finding joy in exploration. I should probably talk to a therapist about this.
That's so funny.
But I like when there's like tight dungeon-based experiences, and that's what I miss from the older Zeldas. So if like the Switch 2 has a Zelda that's completely different from the Breath of the Wild type video games, I will definitely jump on that. Another one is, have you guys ever played Battlefield Bad Company 2?
Oh, dude.
Oh,
I
long
never
time ago.
got to actually play the whole game, but my brother
neither.
downloaded the demo, and I played that game. I played the demo over and over and over and over and over. Oh my God.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if they ever either do a remake or a sequel, I would absolutely freaking jump on that because that game was incredible. And I think throughout the years, like EA has been interviewed about this, or someone from EA has, and what they've said is they don't know what made that game so good, and that's why they haven't like expanded on it. Like they haven't been able to figure it out, which is
Just
I don't
go
know
to
what that
YouTube
means.
and watch one of a million video essays. Like, oh my God. Talk about out of touch, dude.
Destruction. Give me
Give
destruction.
me destruction. Give me
I don't know
just,
if you guys
like,
have played the new
nonsensical-
Battlefield, but there's like none.
Really?
It's lame. It's a really fun game. Let me say, it's really fun because there's tornadoes and shit. It's awesome. But there's no destruction really. It's
the
lame.
best like spiritual successor that I found to that is the Finals because it was made by people from like they used to work on Battlefield.
Dude,
The Finals?
That game is awesome. That game is so good. If anyone wants to play that with me, by the way, please hit me up. I love that game.
Oh wait, I've seen something about this.
Oh God, it's so good. There's actually a trailer for that game that is some of the best video editing I have ever seen.
Oh, you gotta send it to
that
us.
I need. Yeah, I'll send it to you guys.
And it's like an official trailer?
Oh yeah, yeah. Whoever edited that, it was awesome.
Yeah, I have seen this. My brother was telling me about this, and it's free to play.
Yeah, dude, it's
Wait,
so
did
fun.
I add this to it? No, it's anyway. So, but what's your third one, Mo?
The last one would be Warcraft. Like, not World of Warcraft, but the actual strategy game. If they do a successor to that, I would love that. I freaking love those games and played the demo just like you guys described it with Battlefield. Hours and hours and hours. Oh, actually, if I can throw a fourth one in, Unreal Tournament. They haven't made any of these games because Epic Games has been so successful with Fortnite. But there was one that was in development, and then they scrapped it because they obviously just knocked it out of the park with Fortnite. But if they ever make an Unreal Tournament game again, I would love that.
Nice. That would be sick.
Durant?
Come on. Yeah. That's what I'm talking
You
about.
missed it, Katie. You missed it.
Oh,
You
I
missed it.
thought
It's too
I
late.
thought you were trying to get your computer to do the thumbs up, and I'm like, I don't think you have
no.
this setting on.
No, I don't.
But it's
I'm
just
using
Mo.
my Windows computer. For audio listeners, thumbs up. I hate to be this guy, audio listeners, but you got to be here for the video
Yeah,
to
that's-
see these bits.
Damn, fucking plug that Grant.
I don't know
Come
what
on.
to tell you. Do you not have eyes?
You're missing out
Use
on
them.
a
I've never seen
quintessential
Grant so
sense here.
passionate.
I don't know what
Do you
to tell
guys
you, audio
not have
listeners.
eyes is so reminiscent of, do you guys not have phones?
Wait, what is that from again?
That's from the Diablo Immortal announcement.
Totally
No,
lost.
JK, I love you, audio listeners.
Yeah, we get it. You're in the
Just like,
car or whatever.
whatever.
Yeah, making
I have
eggs.
to say, I'm an audio
Yeah.
listener of podcasts. Can't really do the videos.
It's okay. I hate you. It's chill.
Chill.
It's okay. I love to clean when I do it. Okay, I won't.
No,
I
that's
don't like
fair.
cleaning
Yeah.
if I don't have a podcast.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. My game, Monster Hunter Wilds. Oh my God, dude, that game looks so good. There's a new trailer that came out this week. Holy shit. That game looks rad as I have, I think, almost 500 hours in Monster Hunter World. That game is so good. Oh my God. I made a video on it. I love that game. And it just looks like more, but better and new systems. It's got it does seasons now. You can fight multiple monsters at once. You can have 2 weapons at a time. Like your dog flies. What? It's all sick. Anyway.
Pitch it to someone who has never played it.
Do you like dinosaurs?
Yes.
No.
Okay, no, hold on, Katie. So I now have to throw Katie on the bus for something else. Katie is like, I wasn't really into aliens or like sci-fi or like whatever. So we went to, I love all of that shit. I think it's so interesting, especially dinosaurs, to like see them in scale. So we went to the Milwaukee Public Museum, which has like some scale models of dinosaurs. There's this one that is like a Tyrannosaurus Rex exhibit. It's massive. And she was just like, I think dinosaurs are boring. And I'm like,
Okay.
how can you stand here and look at something that existed that is like so massive and not be like, this is crazy.
Aliens
Okay.
will literally appear, and Katie will be like, meh.
Okay.
Eh.
Okay.
Kinda boring.
Hold
You're boring.
on.
Ghosts
Hold
are cooler. I
on.
don't know.
Hold on. Boring is the wrong word. I'm just not interested in them. I understand they've been here. The scale is
a very
amazing.
diplomatic way
It's
of saying
very
boring.
shut the fuck up. It's very like I can see them and be like, awesome. I am someone who has always been very into history. So at the Milwaukee Public Museum, there's like a literal recreation of old Milwaukee, and they have like little houses where like people used to live, and it's like all different countries, like what a house looks like if you were from a certain country. And I was like, Chris, I don't want to leave. And like I had like a solo date to the Tenement Museum in New York. I was always into like recreations of old places and what people did and like what they used. I love like miniatures. I love that sort of stuff. So that's my thing. And I love psychology. That's why I was really pissed off at that show. I won't name the show, but when it was astral projection, I thought it was going to be this like deep dive into her psychology. Maybe something happened, blah, blah, blah. It's just more what I'm interested in. And I also have to say, I was very not interested in the bugs I was seeing at the Milwaukee Public Museum either, but I really like the butterflies. And if that makes me a basic girl, then fine.
No.
But I did a whole unit in 2nd grade on the dinosaurs, and I was just not interested because it was a lot.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you for pronouncing Milwaukee correctly.
I've learned.
No,
Milwaukee.
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 Not Milwaukee. Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
See, that's the problem is we've got a Milwaukee here.
Really?
Yeah.
You do?
So, yeah.
And do you say it Milwaukee
Yeah.
instead of Milwaukee?
Mm-hmm. But they're two different places, so I feel like that's better.
You know, I was just interested by it. It's
yeah.
interesting. It's like how we say Houston Street in New York, and it's Houston in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a road in Portland that looks like couch, but it's pronounced cooch.
I feel like you told us that in LA, and I love that.
Probably, yeah. Quickly, I want to get through my green room.
Yeah.
Recently, my partner moved up, and we've been hanging out a lot more. It's been really fun.
Oh,
and
that's
I got
awesome.
her, since I got my new Steam Deck, she's been using my old one, and we've been playing games next to each other. It's been so much fun. But, oh my God, dude. I have gotten to a point in my life where I am so allergic to problems with games at this point. When I spend money on a thing that's just supposed to work and then I have to fix it, I am pissed off.
That's fair.
Like if it's my PC, it's whatever, you expect it.
Right.
But if you buy a console, you expect it to work. And
That's so fair.
Yeah, she's been playing God of War, and turns out that game has a memory leak for Steam Deck. And it's Steam Deck verified. Nowhere in their documentation does it say anything about this. And it's just expected. Either you deal with a crash every hour of playing the game, or you up your page file and deal with stutters. Those are the only two fixes that exist.
That's crazy.
And I am baffled that this game Valve is like, yep, you can play this game. It's no big deal. And yet, I hate it. I hate it so much. It makes my blood boil.
Well, Chris,
Damn.
you play it on your PC using Steam, right?
Yeah, but it's different.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
it's
that the
different. It's just
Steam
interesting.
Deck runs on Linux.
Yeah, Arch Linux. Yeah.
So, there's certain optimizations that are done for games, and
Oh, yeah.
obviously they haven't put in their due diligence.
I
hate
just
that too,
wonder if
man.
that's happening to other games.
Oh, totally. Oh, there's some like.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
One of my favorite games.
You
growing up
guys,
was a game
I'm not
called-
that video game savvy,
No,
okay?
no,
I'm just
no,
making
it's
a
okay.
point.
No, you're fine.
You're
Yeah.
fine. We're just rolling with it. There was a game that I played all the time on the Xbox called Prototype. Anybody here play Prototype?
Yeah.
Love that game. So stupid. So just like beat 'em up and fly around a city and be like a
Dumb
weird
fun.
alien. Yeah, dumb fun. And then they were on sale, Prototype 1 and 2 on Steam, and they both can't run. I downloaded both, and neither of them run. And I just went to check.
See,
They're like,
that's
go get a
crazy if they
refund.
literally
why-
don't run.
Take it off the store then, dude.
Yep. Right.
Like, what are we doing?
It's f***ing stupid.
Yeah.
That is really dumb.
Like, especially with like where we're at with technology. And I'm not talking out of my ass for listeners. I have built my computers. I make videos on game. Like I am.
This is so reasonable,
This is my
Grant.
hobby. I just like.
Grant's like, do you know who
I've
you're
lost patience.
talking to?
Do you know who I am? No. It's like I have lost patience for when I have spent money to not think about it. I still don't really love it on my computer at this point, but you expect it. Like you've built it. Like this is your baby. But like if I buy a PS5, I expect to be able to open the game and play it. And no bullshit.
Yeah.
Just play it and not have to go into config files, change a swap file. Like I don't want to do any of that. I just want to play the game.
And if there's a reported bug, at least they like attack it, you know, and like try to figure it out.
But
That's
anyway.
stupid.
Yeah, that sucks. And the Steam Deck subreddit is so positive about everything that you never know to expect this stuff. Because
Right.
everybody is like, yeah, I can play this amazing game at like high settings at 30 or 60 FPS at this resolution. And then you find out that they jumped through a bunch of hoops and they're just lying about the performance or something.
Yeah. Like I've seen so many people, they're like, I don't get a crash. I don't know what you want. I'm like, great. Thanks.
Yeah, it was really helpful.
Yeah, don't
Especially
be a-
because like the Steam Deck Yeah, right. The Steam Deck is actually really impressive. Like I've been playing through Red Dead 2 on it, and it runs on medium to ultra settings, native resolution, 45 FPS. I don't know how they do it. It doesn't make any sense, but it's amazing.
Well, I think it's the chip. I mean, the Ryzen technology for AMD's CPU platform is insane. Like they've been
it's
making
amazing.
leaps and bounds, and it's okay, yeah,
Yeah,
because that's
it's great.
There is a video essay idea that I've had for a while, which wants to address music in video games and how that is in my opinion, one of the most overlooked and underappreciated aspect of video games, because to me that's what sets them apart, right? The Last of Us, it has amazing gameplay, it has great story and voice acting and all
It
of that.
stresses Katie the fuck out.
The music is incredible. Halo's music, I think, was the one that really
dude.
That is that is a game. It's like genre defying. It's media defying how good the music of Halo was. And Red Dead Redemption,
No kidding.
1 and 2, oh my God. Like, what I want to talk about with it is in 1, they use whistling so much. And I've never heard another game soundtrack use whistling like Red Dead Redemption 1 did. And it just hits both with the cowboy atmosphere, but then just the atmosphere of like the New Mexico, Texas desert and all of that. Oh, they just get it. So yeah, I'm glad to hear you're playing through 2. Have you played 1?
I've tried. I'm probably gonna wait until it's on PC if I ever play through it.
It's never going to be on PC.
You never
likely.
know.
I know.
The rumors recently have been pointing to it,
Really?
especially because they brought it to Switch recently.
Wait. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to quickly recommend a YouTube channel to Chris. It's Austin Wintory's. He's a video game composer. He's done the music for Journey, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and some other the Banner Saga and some other really cool stuff. And he like has a bunch of videos like breaking down music and games and stuff like that. I feel like you might love it.
There's also another YouTube video I just dropped about adaptive music. That's a really good
Well, that
video
was
essay.
that was Halo revolutionized adaptive music as well.
Yeah.
So, hell yeah, dude.
Yep, I recommend those videos. They're good.
I have a second. Oh wait, did you do Green Room, Mo?
Me? No, not yet. But go ahead. Let's finish yours.
I have a second one. It will be very quick, but I just learned this because I wanted to bring it up and then I learned something about it. So I got really excited because I was on YouTube and I saw that there was a Japanese stationery award and they were showing all the different items that won awards. So I bought this pen that is 0.5, which I love because I always get 0.5 pens and I love I just like stationery and pens. I like when it's like really good. But also my thing I was really excited about is a pack of 3 notebooks and they designed it so it's completely flat. So when you like fold it out, you can like write across it, which is really fucking sick. But I just looked it up and the stationery awards they're talking about are fake. And Bungu, which is the store that sold it, it's just an advertising thing. Apparently there's actually a stationery awards in Japan, in Tokyo, called like Lifestyle Expo or something like that. But it was just an advertising campaign for Bungu, which is the store that sells these things. And they were on YouTube Shorts and they just used it to market these products and I fell into the trap. But I think this notebook's really, really cool because it's just flat and you could write across it. So that's all I had to say.
You got duped.
I did.
You got bamboozled. All right.
Bamboozled.
All right. Mine is kind of related to games. All right. So speaking of Steam, I actually have been really fascinated by how much of an impact that gamers, when they get together and like, what's the word? Downvote? When they review bomb. There you go.
Yeah.
When they review bomb stuff, like it actually makes an impact and then it oftentimes like actually causes the company to change something that they've done. Like this has happened, I think recently with Helldivers. It has caused Sony to change a decision that they've made. And like these types of things are one of the few ways that consumers still have a voice in shaping the internet and the world. And I just want someone to write a book about all the ways in which within the system of capitalism that consumers still have power, because it gives us like resources and like a toolkit to feel empowered and to actually go and make the
Yeah.
differences, because a lot of these things don't get talked about in an educational way. It's more like, oh, I know this person through Discord and then they're organizing this thing. It's very disorganized, but I just know that we're more empowered than we are currently made to feel, and that there are ways that we can make a difference. And like I want it to be organized in a book, and just so that we can start acting in that way.
You know who needs to write it, Mo?
Who?
You. No, I mean, like, I'm only half joking, because this is something that, again, I've said this to you before, is that you make these connections in ways that, like, you know, because we're all unique individuals, but like, it's really fascinating to watch you like draw these two lines together, where it's like, yeah, you see actual change from people leaving review bombs, and like having a concerted effort. So like, somebody should make a guide. You should make a guide. You should make the guide, Mo. I'd buy that. Like the people's guide to being an effective consumer, or so, whatever, you know, like whatever you would want to name it. But yeah, you should write it.
You should do it.
That's
Yeah,
a
you'd
great
make
idea.
$1 million cents. I don't know. You
1 million points
Yeah.
that are
Points.
very well thought out.
absolutely.
$100 of Steam credits, best I can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Theoretically, if I were to write this book, I would like interview lawyers about class action lawsuits. I would interview like
That's
people who
sick.
lead some of these Steam review like stuff, and then even on Twitter, sometimes like when companies see massive backlash for something, people have brought back canceled TV shows, right? Like that's so cool. Can you guys think of other examples
Sounds
like
like
this?
you need to write it.
I mean, look at No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky had a huge amount of backlash because they overpromised, they underdelivered, and then they just did update after update after update after update. And they've come around to what feels like a game. I mean, it doesn't excuse the fact that they released a buggy, incomplete game, but they
Yeah.
listened.
Now it's a really good
Right.
game.
Yep.
I've heard
Yeah.
the same thing about Cyberpunk, just huge
Yep.
comeback story.
Now it's really good. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like other ways that gamers have risen up. But honestly, like I think review bombing is like the biggest one right now.
Yeah.
Because it used to be like voting with your wallet, but that's not even really a thing anymore that actually helps. Like what does actually help is being loud.
Yeah. A lot of people say, oh, complaining is not going to do anything. This is the system. But it's like, it's not true. It's not true. It does work. It's been shown.
If
to
enough
work.
people are loud, yeah. You should do it. Write it.
Yeah. Right it, damn it. All right. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah. Do we want to do a dry run, or do we just want to just...
Well, let's just do a dry run and see if it turns into the
Real.
one that we use.
To the
Okay.
wet,
Sure,
to the
let's
wet
do it.
run.
Yes. Ugh. Makes me think I'm running in wet socks. I'm like, ooh.
Moist
Wet
run.
socks,
Is that better?
biggest. No, so much worse.
Oh, come on.
And that's a wrap.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
And please give us a thumbs up if you like this episode.
Before we say goodbye, check out the description to know what we're watching next. Thanks for hanging out.